People. It is Financial Friday. I am here with my guys. As you guys know, our favorite day of the week, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are here to bring you information about real estate market, the stock market, crypto, what's going on in the finance world. So, for those of you first joining us, we do have two kind of disclaimers and or how we operate here. So, the first one is we are not telling you what to do with your money. We are not telling you to sell anything, buy anything, hold anything, give other people advice. We are strictly giving you our opinions. Okay. So don't go to the side and say, hey, Rico, Cam, and Glenn told me to buy this stock or sell this stock or do this or do that, because I am not going to take credit for that. Unless, of course, you want to give me some of them profits. Then we that, the second rule is the way that we operate here is every week. One of us chooses 3 articles to talk about that we believe really kind of encompasses what's going on currently in the market, whether that's real estate, whether that's stocks, technology, AI, if you're Glenn, and so commodities if you're Rico, and then I'm just all over the place. So that being said, we'll get started. Gentlemen, what's up? How are you guys today?
Great, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. So first of all, starting out, nine people watching across the platforms that I'm able to see at the bare minimum. So appreciate y'all tuning in for sure.
For sure.
We're excited. Don't forget to comment. As you'll notice, it will pop up and people will be able to see it. So, we would love to talk to you about, questions or comments that you have as we're going through this. Rico, how's your day going?
Everything's going good, man. It's good to be here with you guys. I think G said it when we first got on, so good to be here with you guys, and I'm ready to dive in, man. I love giving people education, right? Giving them knowledge.
Mm,
I love it. Let's get to it.
facts.
Sure.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna pull up the first article, G. If you want to start talking about why
Yeah, for sure.
you believe that this article is integral, kind of what's going on right now.
Yeah. So the title of the article is Apple tries to distance itself from Meta. The
Hmm.
competition, they're saying that they're not a headset. And so one of the reasons why I chose this particular article, number one, because they released their headset, which they don't call a headset. But two, as I
Right?
was reading this article, I was curious. I was like, how many people actually use Apple products? So I know this article was selected because either you like Apple or you don't like Apple. And I know people who don't like Apple also have stock in Apple, right? And so obviously when we talk
Mhm.
about the stock market, so this was for Rico. But I realized that it said that more than 1.5 billion uh, active iPhone users worldwide, just in a report that was released in 2023, right? And so when I thought about the scope of, when you talk about a brand being able to touch those many people, and then specifically in the U.S., it says 20% of U.S. households have over 3 Apple devices. Right. And so I thought it was important because I posted on my Facebook earlier this week regarding this a similar article regarding the headset. And I got a lot of feedback and comments, and people started kind of just sharing their perspective. So I wanted to kind of on our platform just bring it to the table, because as we know, the CEO Tim Cook talked at their annual convention or conference about the release that will be released next year as far as the Apple Vision Pro. And so I'm gonna pause there and have some more information to kind of share. But what have you guys been hearing, and or what are your guys' thoughts regarding the headset that was released, the Apple Vision Pro?
Go ahead, Cam.
So first of all, did y'all see that price tag? I just gotta say it for those in the back, since apparently I'm that guy that calls things to the front.
Classic Apple. No, if you didn't, I was. You know, I hate Apple, so I was gonna mention it. But anyway,
that
yep. Go ahead.
that that I saw that, and and it's crazy because we say I say that, and at the end of the day, people will pay it. Because it is, it is Apple. Like G and I kind of talked about the other day, is even when Steve Jobs was around, is he said we're not selling a product, we're selling an experience.
Right.
And they have been able to keep that running for an extended amount of time. And so that being said, now I watch the demo videos. It's always nice when they say it's supposed to do this, it's supposed to do that. We'll see how it really goes, and then not to mention with the advances that could happen in technology from now until when it's actually released, I'm
Right.
interested to see that, and or what does the economy look like when it's time to release it? So that's how I feel right now about it.
I like all those points. For me, first off was the price point, but like I said, that doesn't surprise me about Apple. And you Apple people, you'll go buy it anyway because you go buy new phones just because they come out with a new one. Nothing's wrong with your phone. Whole nother story. Anyway, and that's cool because the stock goes very well, so keep doing it. Um, now, when it comes to actually looking at the market and looking at the competition, Meta also came out with one, obviously, right? So the
Mhm.
article talks about Meta. Meta is much more obviously affordable. And here's something that's super crazy I want people to think about. Number one, where will the economy be when it comes out? And then number two, the second thing is Meta, right, has created the metaverse, right? So Web3, when it comes to the next generation of the internet, Meta is a very, very strong contender. They control a lot of it. So during the article, if you read it, I mean, we're going to post it here, but basically it's Apple saying, well, you know what? We're going to slap them in the face with this. It's not
Mhm.
a headset. It's this and that, right? And that's cool. But I'm interested. I'm super interested to see what ends up happening because Meta kind of runs Web3. So if you have to operate right on Web3, because the actual goggles, when you put them on, if you're going to actually like the spatially aware, like touching things and stuff like that, you'll have to run on Web3 technology,
Right.
right? And so any of like um, the barcodes or anything that you're going to look at and it would pop up like additional content or whatever it's going to do, it'll have to run on basically a Meta sponsored system. And
Yeah.
so I think to me, honestly, um, obviously it's innovative and stuff like that, but it's gonna be super interesting to see. I put my money more on Meta. I'm gonna be. I mean, I know people are gonna buy it, but I'm just trying to figure out how that works when the system itself that it's gonna run on, like the actual network it's gonna run on, is
Mhm.
basically run by Meta. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's my
I
opinion.
I know there was talks about the battery and or the battery usage in the app,
Mhm.
and one of the things in the article that kind of stood out to me because people on my initial post on Facebook a couple days ago, we were talking about the price points, or they were talking about the price points, and one of the things that um I think there was so Mark Zuckerberg was kind of talking about the price of what Apple was kind of posting it at, and Apple on their side, Tim Cook was just like, on another level, this is a premier device. This is not just it's not just a high price toy, right? And
Yeah.
so they didn't go into depth as far as what their targeted market was, but in that same article, it talked about how this is supposed to be an ultra premier device that will lead the company into the new era. And so, based off of what Rico was just kind of saying, it'd be very, very interesting to kind of see that because, like you said, Meta is a giant in that web space industry, right?
Hmm.
And so this will while you have Apple on the others on one side as far as the innovation or trying to be innovative. And so this would be very interesting to see what the next 24 months look like with the products being released and what Meta does as well.
Look for Meta. I'm gonna give you guys some game. You'll say I didn't call it, but I'll be able to go back to this video and tell you. Meta's going to do a deal with Amazon Web Services, and that's going to kill it. Watch what I
Oh
tell
yeah.
you. Watch what I tell you. Just it's a whole. I'm telling you, Zuckerberg has been super quiet, right? Like Apple, Nvidia. There's been Microsoft, Tesla.
Mhm.
Everybody's been kind of like, you know, just out there, and
Hmm.
Facebook has been super quiet. Meta's been
Yeah.
like kind of chilled, laid back. He didn't get to where he was by mistake.
Right.
You also have to understand that all of your social cues, your human psyche interaction with social media is controlled by Meta,
Right.
right? So they know
Yep.
how you think. So if I'm going to take data that I get from you on Instagram and Facebook based upon your likes and your scrolling, I'm going to
Mhm.
infiltrate that. I'll link up with Amazon Web Services to get the servers. I'll send out whatever it is that I need to do. I'm telling you, I called it.
Yeah,
But
it's funny you mention that because a lot of the recent interviews of Zuckerberg, he's been pretty chill. You know what I mean? You know, when you already have the solution or have your team working on the solution, and you're pretty confident on what's to come out.
I mean, the metaverse, right? So they did the hard work up front, right? It's not like
Yep.
like everyone's gonna have their lane. Well, Zuckerberg's like, well, I just built the dang network, right?
Yep.
Like I literally like the movie, like I built the network basically. So I think I'm good because all of you are gonna have to operate on my network.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love it, love it, love
We'll
it.
see.
Yeah, we'll
Wait.
see. We'll see. So let
All right.
me ask you before we go to the next one.
What's up?
As far as a stock, where do you see Apple stock and Meta as well next 6 months? Not
Meta-
you don't have to be like
I
super
won't be
deep.
I won't be with the numbers because people will try to, right? But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Purchase Meta now. Within the next 6 to 9 months, they'll make a huge push and you'll make your money. Apple always will make money because of just the name and what it is. I don't believe the headset is that much more special than anybody else's, just to be honest. But you're gonna buy it anyway, just like the iPhone. They tell you it's the greatest phone in the world and does like everyone like it, but you're still gonna buy it, right? So yeah, Apple will do great. They're gonna continue to do great unless they get into another space like I don't know, some type of computer like software or something or something crazy, but
Yeah,
Apple will still do great. You're not going to lose anything on Apple, but purchase Meta now. Meta was kind of down, but I'll say purchase Meta now.
I
I
need my
think I
shares.
think I think Apple is going to, when it's time to drop this, I think they potentially might do a split.
That's a good call. I'll give you that. That's a good call. That's a very good call.
We'll
Smart.
see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If it
Meta, I'm
happens,
telling
it was
what I'm
called it,
what
baby.
no, I mean I'm just saying Meta is more competition than what Apple gives off. Apple doesn't mention
Yeah.
you. Apple doesn't mention you if you're not like they're brushing it off, but they still mention them. So if they mention them, that means they're very aware. There's something there that they're not talking about. So
Yeah,
just
they're front of
hey,
mind.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's how it be.
Yeah,
All right, man. We've been like these last so we've been picking articles, man, and we could talk about for
we
hours.
really
Probably.
could. We really
that's
could.
good though. That's
Yeah.
good. Hopefully,
It is good.
hopefully the people. I don't know if you guys are seeing the comments, but there's a comment said that Apple stuff is just all it's going to do. Those headsets are just going to lead to mental issues and physical issues.
Yeah. Yeah. And even speaking on that, I know when Zuckerberg had made a comment regarding the demo, it was just like, if you notice, while Apple was saying that, hey, this is more for so that people can connect in the real world, but all the demos showed just someone sitting on the couch by themselves. And so
because they need to operate. That's what
yeah,
I'm trying to tell people. Meta's stuff, if you looked at the commercials for their headset, it's active, right? Like it's actively integrated into the world because they own the dang network. Like so, of course, they can make whatever they want in the metaverse. It's that's what I'm saying.
yeah. This next article I chose. So the last 5 or 6 months, the three of us have continuously been talking about collaborations, partnerships. And I remember, Cam and I, we had a guy on our podcast, the Elder Perspective, and he was talking about collaborations, save nations, and right. So this is kind of an example to that point or to that comment, right? And so here you see, GM and Tesla announced agreement to expand access to Tesla's supercharged network. Another reason I chose this is because there's a lot of people who invest in Tesla. There's a lot of people or who have been interested in investing in Tesla. So I think keeping this information in the forefront is extremely important as well, especially when it comes to two partnerships that have been done in the last 2 weeks, right? First, First, Tesla has partnered with Ford, right, 2 weeks ago, and then this past week, Tesla also partnered with GM. And so one of the things that, or in addition to that, when we're talking about stops, like so GM stock is up 4%, right? And it mentioned Tesla was up about 2%. And so the question that I have for you guys, because obviously Tesla has been very strategic with planning and executing, right? And I mean, we were talking about China a couple weeks ago, and prior to that, we've been talking about Tesla consistently. What are your guys' thoughts on the partnership with GM, or just all the way around?
Glad to see that GM understands that they are not a heavyweight by themselves.
Mhm.
I mean, they're lucky to still be here, honestly, if we're just being 100 with it. And so it's good to see, heavy hitters in the car market understand how they can leverage the partnership to keep their brand not only alive, but moving towards the future. And just, in understanding that realistically, same thing with like the whole Meta stuff. Tesla already did the work, bro.
Yeah.
Like they already did the work. So you tap in and you throw them a percentage of whatever you're doing, but now your entire network of cars has access to those. I ain't never seen no other charger but Teslas.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, same. Everywhere I turn, it's Tesla.
Listen, somebody said it over on the side. Exactly, it sums up exactly what I told you I have a love-hate relationship with him. When he's on,
Yeah,
he's on.
he's on.
We talked about that. I remember, like, very first episode, I said when he's on,
Yeah.
no one,
Yeah.
like, there's no one in tech that's better than him. No one. Like,
Yeah.
literally,
No.
when he's on,
Right.
he's on. He's
Yeah.
locked in. This is the Elon that we've been wanting to come back. This is what I've wanted. This is it right here. You focus in on Tesla, focus in on SpaceX, and in being innovative, because that's what he does. And you get stuff like this, great partnerships, right? Great strategic thought process of how this is going to map out. GM, like him said, kudos to you for the guys, recognizing that they're not a juggernaut anymore. The bailouts, all the old guys, right? And what I mean by that is the Fords, the Chrysler, the GMC. You guys, you're phasing out. Let's be honest. Unless you're going to come out with, shouts out to Dodge, though, and Chrysler for saying, hey, from this like 2024 forward, our major stakeholders, which is the Challenger, the Charger, stuff like that's going to be EV, right? Last thing, Elon, kudos to you. Brilliant. He is going to pull in, he's going to pull in Honda. That's next. He'll pull in Honda, and then it's complete. It's done. There's no one else. It won't matter. You'll never catch up. And I know he's working on it. I don't even watch when it happens. Like, you called it. Yeah, he's gonna get Honda, and that's it. Well, I guess Toyota. He could do Honda or Toyota.
Honda and Toyota.
It's one of the two, right? And then that locks up Asia, right?
Yep.
And so what he's doing is strategically he's making partnerships in different continents, right? And he's making it happen. Beamer and all that, the luxury brands, eventually they're going to have to bow down. These guys are going to have to bow down, right? And when they do, you'll have to use Tesla chargers. What does that do? That gives them access to not only the demographic or the people that are buying these type of cars. Now you become a Tesla, right? You basically become a Tesla customer, right? Because that's what you're doing, right? And so Elon is going to get the piece of that, and it's super intelligent, right? Super intelligent. He gets access to data because in your car, you link it to your phone, right? The phone goes to Alexa, boom, boom, boom. He gets access to data, which is what he wants, because he says he wants to have Twitter be the network, right? Where you process payments, where you can go for Chat GPT, hooking it up to your Neuralink in your brain, so you can, like, he wants everything. And so this is what he's doing, and it's all culminating together. And I see it. Maybe everyone don't see it, but I see it, Elon. Shouts out to you, man. Good stuff.
Bet on Elon. I see it in the chat.
Facts, bro. Did you guys see that? Was it GM that came out with the crab crawling car? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how practical that is. I think it was Volkswagen. Was it Volkswagen? I don't know, but I did see the car though. The wheels turned sideways, and it. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know, man. I don't know about that, but okay.
Things must be.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
What is this?
That's how be, man. All right. So I know. What's that?
I was reading the chat. I believe the Boring Company is going to be heavily utilized in years to come.
Boring Company. Which company? Oh, the Boring Companies. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
I do. Man, I do agree because
Mhm.
they have the demographic, right? Tesla's still growing its demographic. It's still growing its clientele base. They
Mhm.
already have the clientele base. So if the partnership is already there, it's an easy migration.
Yeah.
Uh, for this stuff, I'm sure they're paying for it heavily, and I'm sure
Mhm.
Elon is sharing a little bit of his technology. So he'll probably you'll see more EV cars start coming from the partnerships that he has, different,
Right.
right? So, but it all feeds him. So
Facts.
smart guy.
Yeah. Super smart.
Facts. Now for the
Let's
one y'all been waiting for.
talk. Let's talk student loans.
Let's talk politics.
Let's talk
I'm
student
about to say,
loans,
yeah,
man.
just to call it what it is, bro. Let's just
So, hey, so before we even dive into this, again, this was another article that piqued my interest, and I wanted to kind of dive down the rabbit hole because I was kind of curious on as far as the debt relief, like how many people, right? And so I looked up like how many people were affected by the student loan relief, and so it's at 615,000 people, right? So the article specifically that was posted on May 8th said U.S. Department of Education announces $42 billion in approved public service loan forgiveness for more than 615,000 borrowers since October 2021. And so, obviously the article right there, it talks about kind of what now. So obviously President, can you go to the title real quick? I don't know if folks caught that. So the title of the article, student loan, Biden vetoes bill to claw back student loan relief. And so, further down where Cam was just at, it talked about like, so what now? And basically a couple of the bullet points, it did not pass the House or Senate with enough votes, specifically regarding the borrowers it said that the borrowers don't need to worry. However, something that I thought was important to highlight in the article, it talked about kind of like the prep work, like prep repayment to begin in September of this year. Right. And so one of the things that I mentioned in the article, as far as like, hey, if you have student loans, you want to make sure that your info is updated, with the federal student aid. Right. And so I wanted to kind of highlight that. But what are you guys' thoughts, man? Like, I know it's been on pause for a minute. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the United States, where that could have freed up some money for them to kind of save, stash, put away, invest, etc. Did not. It just was buying more unnecessary things, right? And so now that plug is about to get pulled, what are you guys' thoughts on this article regarding the student loan?
Go ahead, Cam.
I mean,
like, where do I start?
where do I start? So first thing first is, like you already said, it's lightweight. Is that people were given somewhat of a pause forgiveness, and all they probably did was be reckless with that money. No one probably took advantage of the pause that they got, right? And so in that essence, like, I don't necessarily feel bad. Now, second part to that though is that we have a problem. We have a problem in this country when it comes to the institutional of education.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get what you paid for, and that was a problem that happened way before the pandemic. So them trying to blame it on the pandemic, it's smoke and mirrors. We've had this problem for over a decade, and I can tell you because I was a recruiter for the military, and almost 70% of my applicants had bachelor's degrees. You know why? Because they couldn't find a job. I've been a recruiter 9 years, almost a decade. So to blame it on the pandemic is a fallacy. Honestly, it's something that we've had a problem with in a long time. And although and it's funny because there were a lot of fingers pointed at like these for-profit for colleges, right? They're like, oh, they played people out, bruh. Every college is for profit. No college is worth the money. My wife just looked into a clinical psychology program for 5 years, $180,000. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, bro. And so that's one of the things I always laughed about is we pay all this money to potentially get a job.
Yeah.
Okay, and I digress. I'm done
Listen,
yelling.
I know I'm 100% with you on that. I've said it. I mean, you guys know this. I'll tell you all the time. College is a scam. It's a scam.
Super.
And I went to college. I got like 3 degrees. Trust me. A quick story, right? Because we're short on time. I'm gonna get to the point. In college, honestly, I want to be a veterinarian, right? I love animals. Anybody that knows me knows I love animals. I love dogs, right? Really deep into that. Love animals. And so I want to be a veterinarian, right? Here's the thing. Got halfway through, and went to get into veterinarian school. Got in Texas A&M, great school, and hey, $375,000. That's what it would have cost. Now, imagine, so, so I became a chemical engineer, and that's what it takes, right? And so I'm saying all that to say, guys, understand this. This is coming from someone that has degrees. It's a joke. I'm sorry. It just is. And Cam's telling the truth, man. This problem has been around for forever. To try to blame it on whatever the president, like, man, come on, man. Be realistic. These colleges, they make billions and billions of dollars. And it's just wild. It's really wild. I will go a little deeper though. This whole thing on the surface of us talking about just the student loans and all that, guys, you got to dig deeper. And what I'm saying is go read. When we say do your due diligence, go do so, because these actual bills, what they're doing is, let's lay it out for you. The Republicans wanted to cut veteran benefits, right? This was a part of their bill request, veteran benefits, right? Benefits for homeless people. They wanted to cut school and pre-K funding, right? And then increase defense spending. The Democrats, of course, as usual, want to take care of everybody. So they want increased, increase for the homeless. Take care of the kids, though. They try to do good with that, right? Pre-K and after school programs and stuff. They want funding for that. And then they, of course, the president said that he wanted at least $20,000 of loan forgiveness. But when it all really comes down to it, both people were trying to fight against this, but there was stuff thrown in this bill, right? Dealing with the debt ceiling and all, like, literally they always throw extra things in, and it's both sides, guys. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Do your due diligence. Neither one of them, Republican, are you again? No, I don't like either one of them. They're both trash. Both of them are horrible, right? Like, we need to totally redo political system. It's crazy, right? But what I'm saying is that neither one of them were really trying to help the people, because it would have unanimously been voted, right? It's an educational problem. That we're in the middle of a pandemic. People that graduated in the year 2020, 2021, like, they didn't even have graduation ceremonies. Kids miss sports, miss years, like, complete lives of children were totally ravished, right? And let's say you got out of college. What job were you going to get? Where were you going to go? What were you going to do? You couldn't even go to work. If you were in California, you couldn't even go into the office. You couldn't do an interview. It was like, and it was like mentally draining. There's so much stuff that was going on during the pandemic. And to simply not just say, you know what, let's chalk it up, give them his 20,000. It's in the Supreme Court right now anyway. Give them the 20,000 forgiveness, right? And it was 10,000 if you weren't on Pell Grant. Pell Grant means you were getting financial aid from the government. So if you were low income, you got Pell Grant, you get 20,000, right? But when you throw all this extra stuff under it, and then y'all fight each other, and but you just use the rules of college spending and stuff, but that's not really what it is. Like, neither one of them care about that. It's really all this other stuff that they want to try to pass with that. Right. So you got to do your due diligence, guys. I'm going to tell you like this: when it's voting time next year, learn people's platform. Stop buying identity politics. Stop being, my dad, my grandpa, Republican. Who cares, right? Your mom, your dad was Democrat. Like, really go in and look at the candidates. What do they stand for, right? Read these bills. Read this stuff, because that's the reason why all of this is happening. It's just politics. Because they don't want to forgive student loan. Man, that's really not even an issue. That's what they put out there to you. But when you read the bill, you're like, dude, there's so much other stuff on here. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah. These bills are like 1,000 pages long.
It's thousands of pages. They don't even like, and so they both try to hide stuff towards the back of the bills. And when that way the other party signs it, and it's, come on, man.
It's happening all the time.
You didn't see page 967.
Freaking joke, man. These guys, man, we need term limits. We need man, we just need to scrap this whole politics. Like it's just trash. They're all garbage. Get rid of all of them and just start over because it's not working. The average person like us, like anytime, I don't care what you say, anytime you're trying to take away benefits from our heroes, the guys that go and fight and they volunteer to go, right, and they leave their families, you're trash. You're a trash individual. Sorry. Democrats, if you're trying to whatever, guys, we just got to focus in. That's why we do this, for education. We want to make sure that you guys are getting educated, and then we at least point you in the right direction. And then you do your due diligence and decide what you're going to do, place you and your family in the right position. So if anything, at least let us be able to point you in the right direction, and then you go take care of it.
Salute to all my active duty, guard, reserve.
For sure. Thank you guys.
Veterans.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. If no one else says it, let me tell you, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
So mindset thing real quick. So like Jeremiah just said is, look at things like as a whole, right? Like and you will actually start to notice that you have kind of slid into a different demographic of free thought when you can look at everything. I will say in the last couple of years, I've really stopped thinking about those things and more so, like you say, what's this? And you can tell when you talk to people who are still in those mindsets, because they'll say some crazy stuff. I heard somebody say about Trump, I wish someone would just shoot him. And I said, you understand that he's a person.
He's a person.
He has a family.
He's a human.
And he has children. And not to mention what you just said, it actually wasn't even true. And so, and it goes on both sides, right? And it was funny because they automatically assumed who I voted for because of what I said. And I said, no, I just don't give in to this person, everybody, this one person's bad and this one person's good. I look at it all as a whole, And so, but you'll actually start to notice as you kind of break away from that traditional of, I call it single-minded thinking.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what ends up happening and what you guys will start to realize when you break out from the matrix and you actually just sit and holistically look at this stuff, these guys are pals. Democrats and Republicans, they go play golf together. They go and sip tea, right? They go laugh. So they're like, hey, you go say this. Okay, then I'm going to say this. And then we'll get them to do this. And then we'll all laugh, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go do it. And then they go do it. And everybody's like, oh, I hate you. And then behind the scenes, they're going and playing golf and laughing. As proof of this, look at Michelle Obama and George Bush. You couldn't get further away from different people, background, and she they love each other. Not like that, but they're good buddies. For some reason, they really connect. And they have a good time when they talk to each other, they're good friends. Guys, get focus. Focus on you and your family. Focus on placing yourself in the correct financial space. Focus on reading books that educate you. Make yourself better. Just self-develop. Don't depend on President Biden, Trump, who cares? Whoever the president is, guess what? Jeremiah's going to make money. And I'm going to take care of my family. It doesn't really matter where you're at or what you do. I'm going to take care of me, so you should be able to take care of you.
Yep.
Bet on Elon.
Bet on Elon.
Bet on
Elon for president. No, don't do that. No. We would end up nuking people because he would get he's very emotional. He would get mad and try to blow up somebody. So no, don't do that.
Hey, we're a couple minutes over our time, guys. We appreciate you staying with us as we ramble. But that being said, gents, parting words as we wrap up.
Go ahead, G.
Yeah, I'll just say I appreciate Diamond and Denicia. I see they're consistently on our Financial Friday show. Shout out to them. The chat was kind of live. I didn't see the other one, just said Facebook user. So shout out to you as well, whoever you are. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, so Cam talked about mindset. Utilize this weekend to take that time to do some research on something, right? Regarding finances, regarding positioning yourself, positioning your families, so that they can be so that you and your family can be in a better position. And so keep tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate the feedback. Share, all that. And we'll see you guys next Friday for Financial Friday. We'll be back on the live for Monday.
I got one last thing. Share it with 5 people. Take this video. If you like the content, you guys enjoy what we did, go and share it with 5 people, okay? Just tag them. It doesn't take much. Send it to them in their messenger. let us know what you guys are getting and if we're providing value to it. If we're not, we'll revamp it. But we do this definitely to make sure that you guys are getting educated, make sure that we're bringing a lighter side, but also educating you. So, like G said, go and be productive this weekend. Share it with 5 people. Let us know what we can do to do better. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yep. And just real quick, after this, we will be replaying it and streaming it across other platforms as well. So if you caught us on the back end, you can catch it on some of our Instagram profiles, Facebook pages, things of that nature. At that point, you can share it that way as well to your stories and stuff like that. And we appreciate y'all's support. We'll see you for Money Mondays. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for Financial Friday again. And y'all have a good rest of the week.